Hello and welcome to another episode of Arena FPS News, episode 17, brought to you by your hosts, Kalangua and Neeple. In this week's patch-up, we have Reflex. So this is a minor patch, the 0.33.4, and the notable additions are, for the developers of UIs out there, they've exposed some new LUA variables, so you can play with that. Player speed is one which I think they improved in this patch, although I might be wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure about that. Yep, player speed widget's been added as well. And there's a widgets option menu, which means you can kind of play around center, left align, move everything around from the options menu, which is a little bit easier for those of you that don't like typing endless commands into the console. And they added some new meshes, like hanging chains, a fan vent, all exciting stuff. And there's been a few kind of bug fixes, but again, nothing major. So, should we move on to...
Yeah, so Quake Live's had an update again.
Yep, this is quite...
we talked about this last time, I think. I think we talked about Syncera announcing it.
Yeah, this is quite exciting.
Yeah, well, when Quake Live gets an update, it's a big deal nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
So this one is a big deal. And it's actually a smaller deal than the next one that's going to happen. But in this one, they introduced 2 new announcers. I think 4 new maps, maybe. Might be less than that, actually.
I think it's...
Yeah, looks like 4, as well as filling around with some other... like the balance on some other maps and things. And
they've slightly reverted the loadout change. So you only get 1 weapon out as loadout. Which is interesting, because you start with like bugger all ammo. Which is really, like, you fire LG for 2 seconds and that's it.
Yeah, it's better, I think. I mean, I'd rather loadouts weren't there, but this is a better form of loadouts.
Yeah.
And then they stuck in some new medals and like mini fixes and stuff. They've put auto harp in all modes as well now, so it's in dual as well.
Yeah, which is going to annoy some people, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you can turn it off. So
yeah, you can turn it off with a console command. I played a bit of the new map. There's a weird key mechanic, so you pick up a key. If you've got the key, you can open the door to go to, like, I think it was a shortcut. I don't think it was an area that you couldn't get to the other way, but I'm not entirely sure. I didn't play the map for long enough.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things about dynamic maps with this update.
I quite like that idea. It's just something new. It's just something new and fresh in an old game, and it feels great. So
yeah,
I enjoyed
new stuff in Quake's nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Shall we move on?
Yep.
So next up we have Toxic Patch, which is parsley, a very lovely herb, and yeah, important. It's a little bit. It's been scaled back from what they intended, and it's late, so I'm a little bit disappointed. Originally, the idea was there was going to be dual and 2 maps. Unfortunately, there's only 1 map added and no dual mode. They have added a kind of MMR system, which doesn't work exactly like ELO. Apparently, it takes into account stuff like aim and like KDR and stuff as well, not just
That's
win
interesting.
loss. Yeah, it's interesting, but they said it was causing like additional like time to develop it, which they didn't anticipate, which is why things are taking longer. But I mean, yeah, I'm disappointed about dual not being in there. I had a quick play on the map, which you're watching right now, if you're watching and not just listening. And it's fine. It feels kind of similar to the Aztec map, but it's less. There's less kind of different levels. It's kind of compacted, more 2D. It's a little bit smaller, and I prefer it, to be honest. Kind of set in Far East, like I think it's Cambodia. It's set in. It's like little bamboo things and stuff. So it's quite fun. I kind of wish the full patch was in there, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too long till they get the next patch out. But what can you do? Okay, so this week in project updates, there's been a Unreal Tournament 4 podcast, which will be last week's now because of time. There'll be a new one up by the time this comes up. That's the point I'm trying to get to. But last week's one was about weapon models, some of the new community weapon models, and the new weapon model which Epic themselves are developing, which is Link Gun, which looks very cool.
Is that another Goomba one?
I believe so. I believe that was the original concept art, and then they're kind of taking it full to kind of fruition from the UT devs. and there was a sniper rifle model which was being played with, and I think it was a rocket launcher which looked pretty cool as well, which was another community one. So lots of like progress on the models in that front. And also there was a community map, not map, sorry, game mode, which is basically bunny track from the original UTs, or defrag to anybody who isn't aware of what bunny track is. So it's basically like a time trial mode for Unreal Tournament movement, which is interesting because of what we're going to be talking about next. But there's also been another game mode called Domination, and the domination areas are basically placed on top of weapon pickups right now. So it's pretty cool. I've not played it yet, either of those game modes, but I'll give it a try and see what they're like. Oh, and there's been a Ripper added. If you don't remember the Ripper from UT99, you should do.
Okay.
It's replaced. It's a mod where it replaces the bio rifle, and it's a Ripper. It's lots of fun. You can get headshots with a bouncing blade of doom, so that's great. And in Reflex,
Reflex are getting fancy with their art as well. They've shown off their concept art, which is a total turnaround on what their original theme was. So basically, they're now going for a sort of 1930s, 1940s alternate reality when Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison are competing to create weapons.
Yeah, which I love that concept.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we did a video yesterday about kind of art in Arena FPS games. So if you want to like have more of an impression about what we think about it, go check that video out right now. Well, listen to this first and then go do the checking out.
Yeah, there's lots of valves and wood and metal and bars and pipes and all sorts of stuff like that. Some people are saying steampunk, but it doesn't really give me that sort of vibes.
No, steampunk's kind of more Victorian age. This is kind of like more like electrical, like lots of Tesla coils and all those kind of things.
Yeah, so I like the theme. I think some of the models need some work.
Yeah, well, it's early concept art, so it's can be worked on.
Okay, tournament time. Sane is hosting a Sanetopia Reflex North America Duel tournament. It's happening on the 3rd of May.
Yep.
So that would be cool. You could sign up for that. I'm not sure who's signed up already, but it looks like there's lots of people in there. Necrophagist is in there, Suint's in there, Bully is in there.
Cool.
From the Garbage Cup. So that'd be good. And also in Reflex, THC, who is a quite popular mapper.
His name's Tahase, for those of you wondering.
Oh, yes. Or Tahas, as I call him.
Yeah.
Is hosting his first cup for his maps. So all of the maps in the pool are maps made by him. So there's THC DM13, which I really enjoy, THCT1, which I really enjoy, THCT2, which I really enjoy, THCT4 and THCT5. So that's quite a nice pool.
Yeah, I like those maps, so all very fun.
Yeah, that's happening on May 16th to May 17th. So that'd be good.
And I believe...
Oh, that's hosted by Zoot Live. That's quite nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought this was being hosted by the Z Live guys, so it's going to probably hopefully get a good following. And finally, in any other business, the Reflex Garbage Cup is finally over. I say finally, regretfully, not kind of like, oh my god, it's finally over. But it's been a lot of fun. There's been plans on the forum for the next iteration of it. I think there's talk about having 2 tiers, having a compost tier, which is slightly higher, and a garbage tier, which is a new bunch of new players. And the compost tier might coach the garbage tier. But that's all up in the air at the moment. But it's definitely going to come back. All the VODs are up on our channel, so check that out. Reflex Run is an amazing mod made by the Play Hard Go Pro guys, and it's basically defrag mode for Reflex. It's a 4 UI. They've found a way of doing timing as well and saving times, so you can download that from look on the Reflex forums and have a play with that. You can actually do the runs without the UI, I believe, but it won't display the times. So there's that.
There's also, believe it or not, there is a new Arena FPS game.
Yes.
Development.
Another.
So I thought I thought we'd had our lot now, and our lot was going to grow up into beautiful adults. But here's another one, a newborn baby, and it's called CHAMS.
CHAMS.
For anyone who couldn't understand that, that's CHAMS.
Yes.
It sounds like some sort of food.
Yep.
It's being built in UE4. It's got lots of it's sort of like really dark levels with light strips going through them and bright weapons and bright particle effects and stuff.
It's almost like a Terminal Overload is a kind of a tribes-like arena FPS in that art style. This is almost similar to that, but for like not tribes-like. Like I seen it looked like an UT movement-ish, maybe with straight.
There's like some quite hefty wall sliding going on and stuff. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's a one-man dev team, so we'll see how that goes in terms of development speed. But that's another one to follow now to add to the list.
Wickland is 90% off until the 27th of April. So if you have any interest in playing that game, now's the time to get it, because you're not going to see any deeper discount than 90%. It's like 99p or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you got a friend, who I hope you all do.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's a very fun game to play 1v1, and you know, with this genre you only need one friend to play whatever game you want. So.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're going to get it with a friend and play together. You might have some trouble finding people online to play with, so but it's perfectly fine to play like just with a friend, and it's a really good game for that kind of utility. So I think that pretty much wraps up everything for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more content for you very soon.